Hey, my name is Modal, I'm the CEO of Nairon.
My name is Luca, and I'm the CEO of Nairon.
Luca, over the past couple episodes, we've gone deep into how AI works, breaking it down into different pieces. But what we haven't covered in depth yet is how AI has become multimodal. So in this video, let's discuss what that means so the audience has a better understanding of AI's capabilities in 2026.
Essentially, multimodal means multifunctional across different types of inputs. So previously, models have been able to only receive text and give off text. In the last few years, we've seen image models, we've seen video models, audio models, both on the input side and on the output side. So I have an example over here of an old model, which was able to just take text, and an example of a multimodal model, which is able to take text, images, audio, and essentially output all of that as well. Now, the models that we use today, ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, all of them are multimodal.
Okay.
However, they're not multimodal equally. Gemini is really good at output in multimodal. So really good with Nano Banana, those are names of different sort of submodals, and it's able to produce very good videos and very good images. Claude, for example, doesn't have an output multimodal system where it's able to generate images for you, but it's able to input. So it's, if you give it a screenshot, for example, of your phone, it's able to sort of understand what's happening on your phone. So not every model builds their multimodal models the same.
And so just to give a quick example to the audience, what does it look like in slow motion when you give an LLM, say, an image to analyze?
Yeah, and so particularly here we have an image of an invoice. So if you were to upload a paper invoice to an LLM, what the LLM is going to do is actually understand the image and the text together. So it's not like a separate function, it really runs together. And so the LLM might actually reason with itself and sort of analyze the image and think to itself and say, oh, I see the price is that, and this was the due date, and sort of extract this information. And by the way, in the next video, we're going to cover reasoning and how that works with an LLM, but it's essentially the LLM's way of sort of working with itself to figure out what's happening. And so it does that with images quite a lot. And then you can see over here in the third step, it actually produces the final outcome, which is, telling you what the total is and what due date it is, etc.
And this has been very revolutionary over the last couple of months because, as we both know, most business information is not just text format.
Yeah, and so what we see with a lot of businesses is that most of their information is in images, it's in whiteboards, perhaps on paper as well. And so a lot of the stuff that we do is we try to now start documenting and sort of categorizing all of that information so that we can give the LLM enough context to do all the cool stuff that LLMs are able to do, what agents are able to do, which we'll get to in other videos as well. But it can really be a plethora of different things. It can be a slide deck.
Yeah, exactly. And you hit on a point there. We use whiteboards all the time.
Yep.
And now all we have to do is just take an image of what we've gone through in the session and feed it into the LLM, and there you go. That's stored there forever now.
Well, not only that, we also record our calls, transcribe them, and actually use the transcript of the meeting to get even more context of what we use on the whiteboards. I mean, image recognition is not a new concept. A lot of the old machine learning techniques were and have been used for even more than a decade on image recognition. However, there's a difference between image recognition and being a multimodal AI that's able to understand images. And that's the piece that I'm getting to, understand the image. Image recognition was essentially a machine learning technique to identify patterns in images and basically give you either a categorization or a true and false about some image, right? For example, if you're looking at a field and you want to spot what vegetables might be going bad, an image recognition machine model was able to tell you if the vegetables were going bad or not because it had a plethora of data on that specific thing. The multimodal LLMs that we use, they're trained on the whole internet. Right? There's so much more context, and so it's able to reason about what's inside the actual image. And so we gave it a bar chart of revenues all the way from Q1 to Q4, and it was actually able to reason and actually notice that there was a dip in Q3, something that the old models weren't able to do at all. I mean, Maybe if you asked it and trained it on identify if any quarter's revenue fell, then perhaps it was able to tell you. But this was able to reason a lot more, and you can give it hundreds of graphs like this and have it do a lot of data analysis.
Essentially, that understanding has really come from the fact that AI is much better now at reasoning than it was before, which is something that we'll get into more in the next video. So guys, if you enjoyed this video, subscribe to the channel. You can subscribe to our newsletter, links down in the description below. You can also find us on LinkedIn, where we're very active on a daily basis. And until next time, we'll see you in the next video.